Okay, so now we're going to talk about multiplying a polynomial by a monomial. So what I like about multiplying polynomials, especially this case in particular, is that you just have to know how distributive property works, right? So if you know how distributive property works, you can you now know how to solve this exercise, and it's very simple. This is a very simple exercise. Of course, there will be more complex exercises that you will encounter, but for now this is just a review about the basics you need to know to understand operations with polynomials. So we're going to begin with this problem over here that says negative 5x times 2x squared minus 3y plus 11. Okay, so if we are going to apply distributive property, what we are gonna want to do is that we want to distribute. So we want to multiply this time and this and this. So we want to, as the distributive property states, we want to distribute negative 5x to each one of the terms inside the polynomial. Okay, so we're gonna begin now. This first one is negative 5x times 2x squared. Now we do the next one that says negative 5x times negative 3y, and finally we have a negative 5x times 11. Okay, now that we have these over here, what we now do is that we multiply each one, right? We have to multiply as we would multiply two monomials. Okay, so that first one, we just multiply the coefficients. So 5 times 2 is going to be negative 10, and x times x and x to the second power will be x to the third power, because we just have to add the exponents. So it'll be x to the third power plus, we have negative 5 and negative 3. Negative times negative is positive, so now we have positive 15, and x and y just give it x and y. And finally we have a 5. We have negative 5 times 11, so is negative 55, and the x isn't being multiplied with anything, so we just leave it like that, and that will be the answer for this particular problem. And that's what I love about this one, because you just have to distribute each specific one, and in that way you can basically solve these exercises, which are very simple. And now we're going to talk about multiplying polynomials by polynomials, which is very similar to this, and I'll explain it right now. Okay, now that we've talked about polynomials by monomials, now we're going to talk about polynomials by polynomials. And this is very similar to multiplying with just monomials, because the principle here is that you have to repeatedly apply distributive property. You'll see what I mean when I'm solving this exercise that says y to the second power plus 5 being multiplied by 2y to the second power plus 3y minus 7. Okay, so we are going to begin now. I'm going to select black so it's more understandable for you. Okay, now, so we begin. We first start with one of the terms. Okay, so we have to distribute first we have to distribute y times this and times this and times this, and then we have to multiply 5 times this and times this. So we have to distribute each term several times. Okay, that's the key to multiplying polynomials by polynomials, which is actually very simple to understand and memorize. That kind of the way multiplying polynomials works. Okay, so we now say that y is being distributed to 2y squared plus 3y minus 7. okay, and all that plus, because over here we have a plus sign, so we add that to, sorry, I made that a bit small, to 5 being distributed to 2y squared plus 3y minus 7. Okay, and now that we have these, we just have to distribute each one, right? So we're going to start with y. So y times 2y squared is going to be, oh no, wait, I'm going to write it down so it's more easy to understand. So the first one is going to be y times 2y squared. Sorry, it's y squared over here, so y squared times 2y squared. And now we have plus y squared times 3y and minus y squared times 7. Okay, and now the other one we simply add it to over here, so 5 times 2y squared plus 5 times 3y minus 5 times 7, and that would be now our a very long way of expressing this, but it's more understandable that way. So you can follow the exercise with me. Okay, so now that we've done that, we just have to multiply each one. So y squared times 2y squared is going to be 2y, 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so 2y squared, I'm going to enter this in a parentheses, plus 3y, so 3, 1 times 3 is 3, and y times y squared plus y is y to the third power, and now we have a minus, that is 7, and y to the second power. Okay, and now we're gonna add that up to 5 times 2 is 10, y to the second power plus 5 times 2 is 15y, and 5 times 7 is 35. So now this is our new expression, which, as you can see, is basically just addition, which is very simple. It's just addition of polynomials, and that was what I was talking about in what I was talking about earlier, that these exercises, what are just done, they just become easier and easier each step of the way. Okay, so now we have like terms, right? So we have 4, there's nothing else with 4. Now we look for 3's, nothing with 3's. Now we have 2's, so we have these, and we also have these. And then we have 1's, we have y, and then we have with no exponents or no variables. Okay, so now we have like terms. What we're going to do is rearrange them, because it's addition, so the order doesn't matter when we're adding up numbers or variables. Okay, so 2y to the fourth power plus 3y to the third power minus, plus negative 7y to the second power plus 10y to the second power plus 15y plus negative 35. Okay, and now what we do is we solve like terms. So the only thing we have to solve is this over here. The rest is already in its simplest form. So now our answer is going to be 2y to the fourth power plus 3y to the third power plus this is going to be 3y to the second power plus 15y minus 35. Okay, and that is going to be the answer for this particular exercise. And one thing that you could do in these sort of exercises is that you can also apply a vertical method of multiplication. This is very similar to how we would multiply numbers, like in a vertical way. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate that right now. Okay, so I'm going to write, I don't have to write the same question right here because I'm just going to do it up over here. Okay, so all of these we're going to represent it in vertical form. Okay, so we have 2y squared plus 3y minus 7 is being multiplied to y squared plus 5. Okay, and now that now that we have that, we can simply just solve as we would solve with like multiplying. Okay, so 5 times -3, this is -35. 5 times 3y is positive 15y, and 5 times 2y squared is going to be 10y squared. Is going to be 10y squared, and now y to the second power, we leave this space in blank so we don't touch that. So this is going to be negative so this is going to be negative 7y squared, and 3 times 3y, so this is going to be 3y to the third power, and I don't have any more space, but I'm going to write it over here so you can know. So, and now we have our final one, which is y to the squared power times 2y to the second power, okay, which is going to be as we said before, 2y to the fourth power. Okay, and now we just add this all up, and as you can see, we're just this over here, what we're doing over here is exactly the same as what we did over here. We're just adding them, right? And after you add them, after you do all that and you add them, you're gonna get the same answer: 2y to the fourth power plus 3y to the third power plus 3y to the second power plus 15y minus 35. And that's the amazing thing. You can do it however you want, and it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if you feel more comfortable doing horizontally, or if you feel that it's easier for you when you do it vertically. It depends on you, and that's the nice thing about multiplying polynomials, that you can actually like make your own way when you're multiplying polynomials by polynomials. You can use vertical or something like that, whichever you're comfortable with. For a beginning and understanding how it works, I would recommend starting with vertical format because it's a bit easier to understand. However, when you get the hang of it, a horizontal format, which is this one over here, it's a lot easier and it's just quicker, on my opinion, and that's just my opinion. So you now practice and see which method is better for you. And now I'm going to show you some exercises to practice all that we have seen in today's video. Okay, so I've made some exercises that are gonna help you practice and better understand and learn how multiplication of polynomials work. So keep in mind that to become better at operations involving polynomials, the important thing is that you practice. So do that. You can solve these exercises, see how you do. I also included some properties of exponents, so you can practice that as well. And I'll see you in the next video where we will be talking about multiplying two binomials using the FOIL method. Okay, so that is it for today's video, and I'll see you next time.